All right, we're ready to go. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Chris, and this is We Love Comics. And we have a total of 4 boxes we're going to unbox, 3 of which I know what's in, and the fourth one, I have no idea what's in it because I did not write on the box what it is. So we're going to find out together. And if I could search for it on eBay, because that's where I buy all my comics, if I could find out the price, if there's no invoice, I'll be more than happy to share that because you guys know me. I am fully transparent with all of my transactions. I like to keep things very easy for you to follow, and that's why I always include the prices of what I pay for every book. I include taxes and shipping costs and everything. So this way you can get an idea of what kind of deals are out there or what kind of prices you could potentially expect for a comic book. So I'm definitely not one of those channels that says, "Oh, I got a great deal," and then they don't tell you what that great deal is because that just never made sense to me. So Nitro, you're first here. Welcome, says yo. I say yo back. So together we make a yo-yo. Good to see you. Let's give a shout out to all my paid Patreon members. If you would like to support my channel and get your name up on the screen and help a good cause with me with all the stray animals that I help out on a daily basis, especially in this 100 to 102-degree weather every day with the humidity. You can go to patreon.com/we love comics. Your name will get up here regardless of the amount you contribute, because to me, it's not the dollar amount, it's the kindness and the generosity. So shout out to Sith Lord, Michael B, Kevin W, Dan L, Herbert R, Annabelle N, Jason B, Kim N, Blessed, which is our last and latest member. And then we have on YouTube, shout out to Kendall Kid Comics. On Instagram, check out at ScottWU077. Check out on Facebook, Stephen L. Turk Author. And then last but not least, at Instagram, on Instagram, at Silver Age Surfer _comics. We got Douglas Bob says, "Good afternoon, everyone." He says, "Good afternoon, everyone." So to all of you out there in the afternoon, Douglas has got your back. We got the 20 paid members. We got some giveaways. You can pause that if you want to check it out. Let's get into the unboxings. Last one, like I said, I do not know what's in it because I did not write it down on the box. Usually I write down the book. So this way, for future reference, I can do an unboxing and I'll know what it is without having to take the time and try and look something up. But sometimes you forget. It happens, but this is not one of those. This is a book I can pretty much tell you nobody's looking for right now. And to me, that means that's the time to buy these because that's when you can get prices pretty darn cheap. So this is a book, um, will have a Marvel value stamp. So we're going to verify that because you never want to assume that a book that has a Marvel value stamp, and if you don't know what a Marvel value stamp is, I have videos that I made years ago that talk about that. But those are books from basically the mid to late 70s. A lot of books have them, like, for example, Hulk 181, Hulk 180, and many other books like that. But this one has it as well. Um, they're probably going to recast this character, so there's potential. But for the price I paid for it, I couldn't complain to take the chance. Now, it is a lower grade. It's probably around a 3.0. I knew that when I bought it. But Iron Fist number 15, first appearance of Iron Fist. Definitely a key book to have. I have a few copies of this I bought years ago, but the price has gone pretty far down. And, especially, I mean, this is a minor key at this point, but the rumors are that the Defenders are coming to the MCU, whether it's on a TV show or in the movies, and they're probably most likely going to recast Iron Fist, but they are going to use the character, so that's what's most important. So let's verify. Now, this can definitely use a pressing. It's got a lot of wrinkles. I don't know if you'll be able to see that. There is a little tear there, but I knew all the stuff when I purchased it. But we want to make sure the Marvel value stamp is in there, because I've had sellers that showed pictures of a Marvel value stamp. And when I got it, I always double check, and lo and behold, it was cut out. So just because even if a person shows a picture, it does not mean it's there. So make sure you verify. So there is the Marvel value stamp. So it is in there, like the seller did say. So we do have a reputable dealer with that. And I paid under $100 for this book. So like I said, it's probably around a 3.0 grade, so it's not any major grade. But if you can get these books under $100 at this point, knowing that Iron Fist should be coming back, but of course there are no guarantees. Always good to get these when they're cheaper. I paid with shipping and handling and taxes a grand total of $86.88 for that book. So for under $90 for basically a minor key book, definitely worth taking the chance on. Does, like I say, have the Marvel value stamp. Now, this comic I've never owned before, so I was curious. I probably paid about a little bit less than what the current price is for this book, but I like to add new books to my collection every now and then. I don't know what they did here. They kind of taped because the cardboard didn't fit completely in the package. So they kind of taped it around the edge, which is weird. But as long as the comic is intact, that's all I care about. As you can see, wonderful protection. I always tell people, make sure you ask a seller how you would like a comic sent. Don't assume that they know or care how to send. And even with that, you're going to get times like this where they'll literally do the bare minimum. But hey, just imagine what the package might have been if I didn't mention that I would like it with cardboard and other protection. I'm sure all of you at some point have gotten the manila envelope of death. I guess it's a rite of passage if you're a comic book collector that eventually you'll get a package that, you know, you wouldn't send paper towels in. So if you have any of those experiences, be all uh, more than welcome to share that in the live chat or in the comment section. Now, he did say this is like a perfect copy, like near mint mint. I could say that it looks to be true. Corners are nice and sharp, so it did not get bent. Bottom's blunted just a tiny bit, but you could still get easily a 9.6 with that. So yeah, it looks pretty darn good. So let's reveal this book. We got Legends of Zelda #1 from the Nintendo system. Now, I don't know if this is a newsstand or they all came that way. So if anybody has this book or knows a little bit more about this book, of course, this is made by Valiant. If anybody knows if they all have the barcode, I mean, I can always look it up, but I'm talking about if somebody knows it now and wants to place it in the live chat. That'd be cool if this was actually a newsstand variant and there was a variation, because that would make it even rarer. But I have a feeling that this is one that every book is going to be that way. But Legend of Zelda #1, first print, uh, near mint mint. Looks pretty darn good. I mean, especially when you're talking a book with like orange and yellows, you'd be able to pick up color breaking creases, but there are none. Edges are nice and flat. And like I showed, well, it said, it's a little tiny bit blunted. It's not at a point, but it's not smashed or anything either. So the edges are nice and sharp. So this person was true to their word. I paid a grand total of $147.13 for that book. So probably when you're talking 9.6 area, 9.4, probably about what it's worth, most likely. I think I paid a little bit under, but I always like to speculate, and hey, you never know. They've been making a lot of movies. They made the Mario movie. They did movies that I don't watch, to be perfectly honest. That block movie, whatever it is. I mean, showing my age, Minecraft. So who knows? Maybe one day they'll do a Legends of Zelda movie. And if they do, books like that are going to shoot to the moon or at least increase. So definitely something to purchase before that happens because, Hollywood doesn't have an original bone in their body anymore. So chances of them doing something majorly original just not really the case anymore. So they'll just use old properties and things and they'll consider that new until they make a live version of it. But it is what it is. But hey, like I said, they've done Mario, they've done Sonic, they've done a lot of these video game characters, especially recently. So hey, Zelda's not an unknown character, so Possibility of that happening sometime in the future. Who knows? But better to get the book beforehand, because if they do, yeah, near nature, you're not wrong, says Holly Weird. If they do a movie about Zelda, books like that are going to go up in price. Now, I think that is the first appearance of Zelda in a comic, but you guys can correct me if I'm wrong with that. All right, so we're, as you can see, on to the next book. This one they added a little bit of protection, albeit incredibly thin, but something's better than nothing. It's got some wear. It's got a little tear on the top. I knew these things when I bought them. It's probably about a 6.0, maybe a 6.5 pushing it. But we got Amazing Spider-Man number 252. You guys know the significance of this book. You could see part of it was ripped off. Not only is it a newsstand, but you guys should know me by now. And I'm going to take this tape off because they put a long piece of tape, and that's just begging to get stuck on the comic. So anytime you ever see like long bits of tape like that, if you're going to take the book out, especially when you're going to verify things like I showed before with the Marvel value stamp, you just want to take that off and just add another piece of tape, because if it gets stuck, you're going to cause a lot more damage. So you guys have been following me for a while to know what I like to buy these days. This is confirmed to be a Mark Jewelers variant, no coupon cut out or written on. I like collecting these Mark Jewelers variants. I tell people all the time, these are the rarest of the rare when it comes to these particular comics. Um, Newsstands are about anywhere from 7 to 15% of a total print run, but a Mark Jewelers is about between 5 and 7% of a total print run. So these books, although the regular version would be considered pretty much common when it comes to the printings, when you're talking a Mark Jewelers variant, they are rarer. Now, they're not rare, but they are much rarer. So if you can get your hands on one of these, I'd highly recommend it. Paid $218.99. I bought this one. When did I buy this one? This was March of 25, so a couple of months ago. So we'll see. Again, you're talking Secret Wars coming to the MCU. Let's see what they do with it. There are rumors that, Venom, or at least the symbiote, will show up in the MCU at some point. And if they do his origin story, this is a book as well as Secret Wars number 8 that is going to be pretty high in demand. For a modern book, these books, I think, are at this point even still are undervalued, especially when you're talking the 9.8 prices, because I have Secret Wars number 8 and Amazing Spider-Man 252, both in 9.8 CGC, both the regular versions, not even the newsstands. But anytime I see these with the Mark Jewelers variants, I will pick them up. All right, so the last one, I did not write down on the box, unfortunately, what it is, so I do not know what's in here, so we're going to find out together. Now, this person actually taped on the mailer an additional piece of cardboard on the outside, which I kind of like that. I've done that before when I mail out packages, because what that does is it gives extra security from it being potentially bent. Oh, okay, they didn't do that. They just took a piece of cardboard and just folded it over. But even still, it looks like it's secure, and that to me is all that matters. And let's see what we got. Oh, okay, so they threw in some extra books. We've got The Adventures of Barry Ween, Boy Genius. Never heard of that. That's from Ani. Interesting character there. Looks like one of those trolls you used to see back in the 80s, those troll dolls. They also threw in Rick and Morty Dungeons and Dragons. Looks like a variant. Don't like the artist. That's definitely, I don't like that version. But hey, still nice that somebody does something nice like that. but this is what I bought it for. I'd have to look up the price. But this is Rick and Morty #1. This is the one, I believe, is the 1 in 10 variant. So this is the technically first appearance of Rick and Morty. The DVD comic is technically the first appearance, but so many people made copies of it. I don't even think they grade those anymore. The little like paneled one, which I own one of those. Some of them have two staples, some have one staple. So this would technically be the first appearance of Rick and Morty due to that situation, but it's the 1 in 10 variant. And Rick and Morty's still going strong, so I'd have to look up the price on this, but I think I paid like around, you know what, instead of assuming, let's look it up. So bear with me one moment. And of course, there we go. Let's go to my purchases. Probably be a little while ago, not too long ago. And I'll tell you exactly what I paid for it because I bought two of these from two separate sellers. So I won't know which one it is, but I can I'll give you the more expensive price. So with shipping and handling, the more expensive one, I paid only $63.13. If it's the other one that I bought that for $53.50, and that includes shipping and handling. So I'll just assume it's the $63 one because there's no invoice in here. But that was cool. They threw in the extras. Obviously, these are near mint, and they did verify that these are the 1 in 10 variants. And love Rick and Morty, so it was definitely worth picking up for that price. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. You can critique this any way you want. If you want to critique the AI art and share your opinion, you could place that in the live chat, or you could place it in the comment section later on. Let's give a shout out to Jacob Morgan, Nitro, Robert Lau. Forgive me if I say that wrong. Douglas Boggs, all of you are today's surprise subscriber shout out. You guys know what to do with that. And like I said, if you want to support my channel and all the things I do to help those stray cats that I take care of, you can join by going to patreon.com/WeLoveComics. Any amount you contribute, you will get your name up on this board. And if we can get up to 20 paid members, there's some giveaways that I want to give away. There is no minimum to enter other than the minimum to join anybody's Patreon, which is $2 a month. But for every $2 that you contribute, you'll get one entry. So the more you contribute, the more entries you'll get. So that's my story. I'm sticking to it. Jacob, you missed the books, but you can always do it on the rewind if you are so inclined. If not, I still appreciate you being here regardless, but I'll show them really quick. And if you want to see the prices I paid for everything, by all means, feel free. Florence is here. You just got here in time. Good to see you. So the books are Rick and Morty #1, 1 in 10 variant. Mid-grade Amazing Spider-Man #252. This is a Mark Jewelers variant. Near mint copy Legend of Zelda #1 first print. Not sure if that's a newsstand or every comic had that barcode. I'll find out. And then last but not least, we got Marvel Premiere 15 first Iron Fist. Lower grade, but does have the Marvel value stamp. Paid under $100 for that book. So those are the books. So I just saved you watching. If you don't want to go on the rewind to see the prices, that's it for today. I hope when this uploads, you'll be kind enough to leave a comment. And again, 95% most likely of the contributions that people do to my Patreon go towards feeding all of the stray cats medicines, medical bills, things like that. Because, I've saved at least 5 of the stray cats from dying by taking them to the vet and saving their lives. So money will go to things towards that, medications and things like that. So contributions are definitely helped, and they will go majority wise to helping that. So if you think it's a good cause, you can join my Patreon, or you could send a super chat or anything like that, or you can share the video, like the video, thumb it down. I'll leave it up to you. or do absolutely nothing. I appreciate you regardless. So thanks for watching, everybody. I hope you enjoyed the video. Always appreciate you guys taking the time to comment and join my live chat. And don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, it is not you, it is not I, it is We Love Comics. Enjoy the rest of your day, and don't forget to have your trolls spayed or neutered.